Brethren, ladies and gentlemen, we have standing to receive the Right Honorable Deputy Grand Master, the Grand of Ghana, and his delegation. Grandmaster Jesuit, the Grand Lord of Nigeria. Kapun, Ojo Adu Fabuta, and Ocho Nana Osai Yampong the 6th. 2432, the second. Those were your grandchildren of the grandmother of God.
Under the leadership of Brother Otumfuo Sir Ajiman Prempe II. The de facto director of schools under the Presbyterian Church was Brother E.M.L. Ojija. The results of the collaboration and synergy between the two craftsmen has been a boon to young men from all over Ghana and perhaps even beyond. Their mutual respect and cohesive spirit continued even after Brother, the Right Reverend E.M. Ojija, became moderator of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana for 2 sessions from 1958 to 1966. In the late 70s into the 80s, education in Asantehene continued to receive staunch support, once again as a result of a productive partnership between two craftsmen. Illustrious Brother Otumfuo Opokuware II, and the then National Director of Schools and Colleges, my father, Brother Alexander Niblebo Andrews. The sublime teachings of the craft were giving practical manifestation through the quiet, mutual support of these two Masons. And once again, the beneficiaries were the youth of our country, who were provided with an excellent and affordable education to enhance our national development. The third generation from our family compound at Osu, Teshi, Kolechong, Udumasi Krobo, and Abokubi was therefore ready to heed the call of Asantehene when a discreet request was made for medical expertise in the late 90s. Quote, when you get to Maishia, greet your senior brother, Brother Otumfuo Opokuware, with the grip. And if he asks you, tell him who you are. Tell him about your grandpa and extend my heartfelt fraternal greetings to him. Go, my son, and do your best for him. God, the divine architect, being your helper. Unquote. Those were the words of my father to me as I left for the airport to fly to Kumasi. And so it transpired As soon as I offered my royal host the token, he asked his retinue to retire, and we shall leave it at that. 25 years ago, I was here at the temple at the Hujo Runabout when another royal retinue was asked to retire. Our grand patron, our now grand patron, had arrived to be initiated into the craft. The mood was tense, the air electric and fraught with expectation and high drama. But in the true tradition of Freemasonry, the monarch set aside his temporal titles and privileges to undergo the procedural steps that every craftsman in all quarters of the globe from time immemorial has endured. What followed was a moving rendition and execution of an ancient ritual to cement the awesome beauty and dignity of our gentle craft. Among the participants and primary actors that day were numerous senior and stellar brethren, many of whom have since been summoned to the Grand Lodge above. But there is no doubt that they have formed a cloud of witnesses who have assisted our Grand Patron on his Masonic journey. That day, I, a lowly master mason among the grandees, was the only craftsman in the temple wearing the ebony and ivory regalia of Achimota Lodge, the colors which, in the immortal words of Brother Dr. James Kwege Agri, also known as Agri of Africa, symbolize the brotherhood of man. So, it is providence that has brought me to the floor of Grand Lodge today to fulfill and sustain a solid tradition of quiet and fruitful cooperation between my family compound and the Asantehene dynasty. I am no disinterested observer. No. Far be from it. It is certainly not so. It is not possible. Today, our unshakable duty and responsibility is to proceed in true Masonic style, to enter the quarries with our working tools and hew stone that will enable us to construct a magnificent edifice of enlightenment and truth in the history and the symbols that surround us, to read the book of nature and through grace discern the perfect plan of the great architect of the universe. We pray that our darkness will be turned into light. Most worshipful grandpa, I once again implore you to instruct the brethren and the distinguished guests. We shall sing verse 2. Most worshipful Grandmaster, We will now look for the banyan tree and try to discover its genuine secrets. The Masonic altar remains an altar of inclusiveness and tolerance. It is an altar of freedom. On it are arranged the sacred writings of many faiths. Each brother takes his obligations according to his religious allegiance. For our brothers from the East, the sacred writings include the Bhagavad Gita and the Upanishads. They recall that the Buddha spent 7 days in serious meditation under the banyan tree in order to gain enlightenment. That particular tree, the banyan tree, holds a special place in their faith with far-reaching and instructive symbolism and genuine secrets. That tree has long been recognized as a living altar, and a link between the past, present, and future. It grows to a gargantuan size and living for many centuries, thus connecting generations as a symbol of life, longevity, stability, growth, and vitality. The mesmerizing scale and complexity of the organic architecture has made the banyans the tree of poets, wanderers, contemplatives, a refuge for travelers, rebels, and free thinkers, and dare I say so, Freemasons. Nearer home, the same tree holds a unique place in the history of Asantehene. Legend has it that 3 such trees were planted in 3 different locations by the sagacious priest Anoche. The one which survived became the location of the capital of Asantehene. In short, the kum tree, which is the same as the banyan tree, became the site of the vibrant capital, Kumasi, literally meaning under the kum tree, or if you prefer, under the banyan tree. The first Asantehene, Otumfuo said to the first, sat under the kum tree in order to negotiate and acquire land for the capital of what became a powerful confederacy and a dynasty that has lasted over 300 years. Is it a surprise that the banyan or kum tree is known to last 500 years or more? Its roots grow down from its branches and form trunks that anchor the tree to the earth with several feet, akin to the soul that never dies nor renews. It represents the vehicle to spirituality, devoid of all materialistic urges. Not unlike the evergreen of the craft, the banyan or kum tree also symbolizes immortality. Our inquiries become even more interesting once we remember that the banyan or kum tree is also a fig tree. A fig tree. This is one of the fruit trees named in several of the sacred writings as being present in paradise. From Genesis to the book of Revelation, there are over 40 verses devoted to the fig tree and its potent symbolism. Several of the parables of the Galilean master refer to the kum or fig tree. Certain spiritual traditions regard the fig tree as the tree of knowledge. Others regard it as the tree of life. In our present epoch, where we are threatened with mass extinctions, it is pertinent for us to remember that the banyan, kum or fig tree is known to sustain over 1,000 bird and mammal species. We are gathered here today under the banyan, kum or fig tree, or simply put, at Kumasi, to honor a revered and illustrious brother, most worshipful brother Otumfuo Osei Tutu II. Armed with a fair understanding of the history and spiritual symbolism of the kum tree, let us now turn our attention to how our stalwart and zealous brother has fulfilled over the last 25 years its potent attributes in making himself an exemplar of and an ornament to our ancient craft. There is much to discover. There is much to see. Freemasonry yesterday, Freemasonry today, Freemasonry tomorrow, Freemasonry forever, all until the world shall, according to the perfect plan of the Almighty Architect, not need Freemasonry anymore. Most worshipful Grandmaster, as Africans, with our own sovereign Grand Lodge, the Grand Lodge of Ghana, we know that there are powerful sacred truths embedded in the teachings of our craft. We must continue to harness and explain them to improve ourselves, each brother, one brother at a time. On this historic occasion, nothing now remains but with deep reverence to offer the following prayer while prostrating ourselves before the blinding majesty of our Creator. May the great architect of the universe continue to shower his blessings on our grand patron. May he provide our grand patron wisdom to discern and strength to execute the will of the eternal architect as revealed in Freemasonry, the sacerdotal art, and thus create and sustain beauty and harmony. And may he continue to hold all of us and our grand patron in this Jubilee year and beyond in the palm of his majestic hand. Most worshipful Grandmaster, most worshipful, the Grand Patron of the Grand Lodge of Ghana, most worshipful Grandmasters, present, past, and honorary, Deputy Grandmasters, present, past, and honorary, brethren all, and distinguished guests, I thank you all most sincerely for your kind attention.
I have been asked that you should give me a second round of applause. Be seated. Brother Dr. Andrews, we are grateful to you for the paper you have presented to us. No words can express. I have been asked that you should give me a second round of applause. Be seated. Brother Dr. Andrews, we are grateful to you for the paper you have presented to us. No words can express our appreciation for what you've done, except by saying, Yadawasipa. You have given us, to some extent, the relationship between your visited brethren. As usual, one of these addresses will have to be cancelled. I'll therefore give a short address here and give a fuller and longer one at the festive board. Brethren from the Grand Lodges represented here will kindly note that because of this communication, no invitations were sent out for our annual communication held exactly a fortnight ago. Believe me, this omission was intentional, as we wanted brethren to assist us to honor our grand patron. Notwithstanding the inconveniences we have had to go through, we think this can be compensated for with your presence at His Royal Majesty's celebration of the following anniversaries. Celebration of his 75th birthday, as he, by the grace of God, completed the full 74 years into war. And to us as Freemasons, and especially in the Grand Lodge of Ghana, this year marks the Silver Jubilee celebration of the third Asantehene, exchanging the scepter for the trowel in the lodge. And that lodge bears his name, Osei Tutu Lodge. We hope you have had the opportunity to inspect the new Prempeh the First Airport, and also the Menchia Museum, which houses historical emblems and artifacts of Asante. And also, for now, the articles looted by those who felt envious of the independence and the bravery of the true Africans, as exhibited in Ashanti in those years. We must apologize, brethren, that at the soiree yesterday, not all the expected brethren were present. This was due in part to the fact that flights could not be properly coordinated, and also the members of the events committee had to work in Accra till the late hours of the day, and so could not be here. We thank you, visiting brethren, our visitors, and everybody, for accepting to be here for this event. Let me also thank the members of the events committee for planning this event and participating in it. Thank you. But we shall now listen to address by the Grand Patron. But before we sit down to listen, brethren, we shall sit down to hear him. Give us the tune. We have something.
Thank you. Most worshipful Pastor, brethren all, I welcome all present to this special communication of the Grand Lord to mark the Silver Jubilee of the Asantehene, and second as a Freemason. I extend special welcome to the Grand Masters and leaders of the visiting Grand Lord delegation. And I think I want to mention their names here because I have them here. Most worshipful Brother Anthony Deline, the second, Grand Master, Grand Lord, Republic of Liberia. And I thank you very much for the honor done me today. This honor goes to all the Grand Lords of Ghana. So I take it and I accept it in the name of Grand Lord of Ghana. I thank you very much. Right Worshipful Brother Elvis Komlabi, that is the Grand Senior Warden, Quebec. Right Worshipful Brother Tahir Ben Murad, Assistant Grand Master GL Côte d'Ivoire. Thank you. Your president was here to see me last time. Thank you. Right Worshipful Brother Rouse Simon, Assistant Grand Master, National Grand Lodge of Togo. Thank you for coming. Right Worshipful Brother Jane Yves Fakwena. Now my friend should come. Jane Yves Fahoni. Fabomi. Grand Chancellor, Grand Lodge of Benin. Thank you very much for coming. And Right Worshipful Chief Osiobo Okote, Grand Master Designate, Grand Lodge of Nigeria. Thank you for coming. I also welcome the representative of the District Grand Master of the District Grand Lodge of Ghana, English Constitution, and all other brethren here present. I also welcome our ladies and invited non-Mason friends. Good evening and welcome. Let me express my sincere appreciation to the most worshipful Brother Osei Achune Bonsu, most worshipful Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of Ghana, and the Board of General Purposes for initiating and organizing this convocation. It is appropriate that I also congratulate our Grand Lodge on its 15th year since its consecration, and especially for including our dear ladies to join us today. I am informed that the oldest Grand Lodge in Africa, the 157-year-old Grand Lodge of Liberia, strongly represented here today, has a female section, just as in England. This may be a great opportunity to discuss the formation of lodges of ladies to be attached to the Grand Lodge. And I'm sure with a clapping, my brethren of the Grand Lodge will not hesitate to support such a move. Meanwhile, among us today are gentlemen who are yet to see the light in Freemasonry. The members who invited you did so, convinced that you have the potential to be worthy Freemasons. As some of you already know, and that's been said with a good oration by my brother Ojija, my two predecessors on the golden stool, Worshipful Brother Sir Ajman Prempe II, after whom this temple is named,